Do you struggle to find ideas to keep your students writing over the summer? Summer writing activities can easily become anything but simple. In fact, they often deviate into quotas, worksheets, and tedious skill and drill, simply because we don't know what else to do, which just makes students hate writing. And who wants that? Well, there's a better way to both help your students practice real writing and, get this, be intrigued enough to actually write over the summer. So whether you're looking for activities for your own kids or you're still in school and looking for something to send home with your students, I've got 5 simple ideas for you. Listen in to find out more. I'm Lisa Burns, a teacher success coach, veteran elementary teacher, and mom of 5, and this is the Teach Joyfully podcast. Thanks for joining me today. Are you missing out? Team H.O.P.E Insiders get extra encouragement, tips and tricks, surprise freebies, and more. Become a H.O.P.E Insider today and get access to all kinds of freebies at www.hopeineducation.com/vault. Today I have 5 simple writing activities that are engaging and fun and hopefully will get your students intrigued enough to be writing over the summer. Now, it will come as no surprise to most of you that I start my writing with books for inspiration. The first activity is journaling. Now, I know and you know if you ask students to journal, it's a 50-50 proposition. Actually, it's probably even less than 50-50. Journaling sounds boring. Who wants to do that? But if you start with a book like Diary of a Worm, journaling takes on a whole new bent. The humor and fun of this book puts a whole new stamp on journaling and gets kids to think about journaling in a completely different way. It's a conversation and a recording of interesting things that have happened, but it's not like big things. Little things can be interesting. It's all in how you look at it. So start with Diary of a Worm and then talk about journaling in that kind of format. Next up, letters and postcards. I love letters and postcards. It's such a fun way to practice writing and still have some fun doing it. Whether it's a letter to a grandparent or a beloved relative or something else, it can be a lot of fun. I like to start with some books. You can start with Letters from Camp by Kate Cleese, or you can do the Mad Libs version, Letters from Camp Mad Libs, or start with Letters from Camp in P.S. I Hate It Here. Even better, if you want to do postcards, do String Bean's Trip to the Shining Sea. It's a great book about an adventure that the young man has over his summer, and it is written completely in postcards. A couple of other ideas can be Can I Be Your Dog? Or Dear Pope Francis. Think about it. Students can write to almost anyone. You can suggest that they write letters to their favorite authors, have students write letters to their favorite baseball player. The list can go on and on. There's plenty of suggestions you can give kids to inspire them to consider writing letters this summer. They can even write letters to you or to their future next grade teacher. So they just need to send them to the school. That's it. It's a great way to get to know these students and for these students to be able to practice their writing. Looking for some more letter writing books and ideas? Check out episode number 82, Why Teaching Letter Writing is Still Important. For my next idea, I have a question for you first. Have you ever watched the cartoon Arthur on TV? My kids used to love that show. There is one episode that stands out to me, though, where Arthur and his friends are sitting around a campfire in the backyard reminiscing about their summer adventures. In the episode, it shows images of what the kids really did, which was kind of boring, next to the exaggerated image of what they were remembering and bragging about. It's really fun. So I like to call this writing opportunity the Tall Tale Summer Tales, Adventures You Wish You Could Have Had. A great prep for this is by reading tall tales and discussing what probably the truth is and what could be the exaggerations. It's a lot of fun, and students can have tons of fun writing their adventures in an exaggerated manner. It's kind of like the tall tales version of journaling. And then there's always listening in, conversation starters. Encouraging your students to take the time to listen to nature, to conversations, how people talk to each other, to the news, to sportscasts, to all that is going on around them. They can begin writing about the mundane, everyday kinds of interactions. What's interesting about them? How does nature talk to us? How do people really talk to each other? What do natural conversations sound like? What do newscasters sound like? Watch a documentary. How does the narrator talk? What about sportscasters? There's all kinds of conversations and talking that they can listen to. This develops their skills in using voice and in writing natural conversations. So if your students have learned how to write conversation, even in basic format, this is a perfect summer activity for them. They can be detectives and figure out all kinds of ways that people talk to each other. And then take a ton of notes and write down all their ideas to save for next year when they need to write some natural conversations. Think of it as writer's research. How-to tutorials are always a great idea as well. Students can learn something new and then teach it back. Think about it. And with their parents' permission, they could even create a video and have some sort of downloadable script so that people can follow along. Flipgrid is a great place to share that. I like books like How to Babysit a Grandpa, How to Make Slime, are great introductions to this kind of a topic. I also have a resource for you on this one, and I will link it in the show notes. Students can write word problems and make solve-it videos based around different math concepts, if that's what they love doing. You could have a script that people could download and so they can check their work. You can teach someone how to make your favorite sandwich, teach them how to knit, whistle, blow a bubble, you name it, the sky's the limit. Think of something interesting and fun, and it would be a blast to make a video about it and write the script. Even better, do it with a friend. And along those lines, playwright class. Write a play or reader's theater based on a book and perform it on video with, of course, a downloadable script. Students can start by making a storyboard of the main events from the book. They can use those to be the scenes. Then they write a list of the most important points from each part and turn that into a script for characters to say. Looking for something a little bit simpler? Write a script for the day in the life of me, or the day in the life of my dollar bill, the dust bunnies under my bed, my little brother, my neighbor's old car that never moves. You can write the day in the life of almost anything, and that would make a fantastic script. I'll bet your students could get behind this and find some really funny and interesting things to write about. Have an even better idea? We'd love to hear about it. You can drop your comments in the comments section on whatever platform you're listening to the podcast, or you can drop them in the Facebook group for the Teach Joyfully podcast community. So that's it for this episode of the Teach Joyfully podcast, my teacher friends. My sincere thanks to you, my listeners, for tuning in, and for all those of you who've taken the time to post a review, email me your thoughts, or DM me on Instagram with your feedback and topic requests. You can find the show notes and all the resources mentioned in the episode on my website at www.hopeineducation.com/podcast. And remember, a happy teacher is a good teacher. Until next time, teach joyfully and take care of you.